Today is January 18th. Yankees have Stroman officially. He had a press conference. Cashman had a press conference. We're all talking Yanks. You like that?
I did.
It's cold in here. For those at home.
Recaps galore, weekly awards.
Stroman, streaming hot takes.
Your
Yankees news from these two fine dudes.
It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks, brought to you by SeatGeek. My name is Jimmy. His name is Jake. BBD is here. We're coming to you live from the owner's suite in the warehouse where it is cold. Tell them about it, Jake.
James Davis, it is cold. The equation going through my head right now is when's the next time I'm going to be warm? Because it's probably an Uber to the train. I don't know if I'll be able, depending on the Uber driver, will I be able to get enough warmth in there?
Yeah.
Train not notoriously hot. So
Tell them to blast the heat.
There's a chance I'm not warm, the feeling of warm for the next couple hours. So I'm dreading that a little bit, but we had a nice warehouse day. There's always warehouse content coming out soon. We got to see our new ace, Marcus Stroman, who checked in with all the, the Yankees leaders, and he's cool now. So we got to see him in front of the cameras, and then a couple Cash God quotes, which, per usual, kind of in tune with what we think. It's just
what you want to hear and not want to hear at the same time, which is like tricky
Right.
for fan bases.
It's just it's the follow-up to that. Brian Cashman says, our starting pitching can be good if everything goes right, but we know there's a chance it doesn't.
Yeah, I think it was even less confident than that.
Which is kind of one of those things like, well, if there's no other ads, then you'd feel bad. If there are other ads, you'd say, yeah, everyone agrees. So
The direct quote is, I think we have a good rotation. So I think at the start is already like, I think.
right.
Like you could say, we have a good rotation if everything goes right. That's one hesitancy at the end. But then he throws two. I think we have a good rotation if everything goes right.
Double negative.
So you're not even positive you have a good rotation if everything goes right. You just think you do.
Right.
Which isn't the most...
In theory.
Which isn't the most confident thing to say about your starting rotation. But I agree. That's my sentiment as well that I said last episode.
Just did this.
And he also said, which we know is something we don't want to lay back and count on.
Right.
So as a fan, you're like, yeah. Well, what you going to do? Because Luke Weaver's going to be in the starting rotation when someone goes down in spring. So if you don't want to lay back and count on it, what's going to happen? Because just saying that and not acting on it isn't anything.
Right.
So, thanks for letting us know that you also understand the situation. You're not delusional.
Yeah, I guess for me, and maybe this is a question for Aaron Boone. Just a reminder, we're doing our live event 11 days from today, Jimmy, which that means my sister's birthday was...
Well, no. I just know the event is 11 days after your sister's birthday.
It's 12 days after my sister's birthday.
Damn it!
So you didn't know that. The event's in 11 days, so my sister's birthday is...
29 minus 11.
No.
Minus 12.
Yeah.
Why are you making me do the reverse math?
Because it was yesterday. Happy birthday, Renee.
Happy birthday, Renee.
So 11 days from today, we'll be talking to Aaron Boone, the manager of the Yankees. There's still tickets left. We're doing a live Talkin' Yanks episode. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a fun interactive thing we're planning. Doors open at 6:30. Downtown Social, NYC. I think we've sold 80% of the tickets.
A lot. I'm very excited to see everyone.
Every 4 out of 5 available tickets have been sold, and we're going to sell out because that's just what we do. So there's a link in the description. If you're going to be in the city January 29th, 12 days after my sister's birthday, come have a fun night with us and Booney. I saw a guy, Julius, in the streets yesterday. He said, I'm going to see you there. I said, awesome. I'll see you there.
Let's open the show. Julius.
Yeah.
If we're backstage, well, we have mics, like a grand opening. Julius.
So, yeah, who's our sixth starter?
Luke Weaver.
Who's our sixth starter?
Sick or sixth?
Yeah.
Do you not think Luke Weaver's a sixth?
I mean, in a way, I just think that, like, even if this dream world continues where all 5 of our starters were healthy and good, like if Luke Weaver's going to be in the bullpen, which he's going to be, at a certain point he's not going to be stretched out. So, like, if let's say Luke Weaver's 6A, who's 6B? Because Luke Weaver also has a career major league ERA above 5.
Clayton Beater or Luis
Warren
or Luis
Heel.
Heel. I don't think Warren.
I think he's more end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
See
think
how it
Warren's.
goes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You'd like Brian Cashman said, they'd like more pitching.
Web
Not
Dog?
sure we're gonna have it. Don't. He's out forever.
Oh, he
What?
signed, and we'll find out on February.
I thought he got
13th or
TJ.
something.
No,
I don't know if he actually got it, but
That would fuck up his golf game.
it
What are you
was the
talking about?
TJ,
yeah,
non-TJ.
he definitely had.
Or maybe he needs
he
it and he's just
definitely
not
had
getting
a
it
forearm
fixed.
issue.
Kind of like when an old person is like, yeah, my rotator cuff's out, but I'm not getting it fixed.
Yeah.
He did
hey,
the same
your
thing.
grandma broke her hip, but actually, if we do this surgery, there's worse odds. So
Yeah.
we took her leg off.
Would like more pitching.
Yeah.
Brian Cashman's quotes didn't help me.
Well,
They almost confirmed.
they confirm. Well,
Yeah.
no, but it's very odd.
Right.
Because you're like, oh, I agree, Bri. Oh, I agree. Are you going to act on it? You know? Sometimes I just sit there and I say, I'm hungry, but I never go get the food. And eventually the person in the room with me is like, it's Dutch. They're like, go get some food.
Usually the person in the room with me, go get the
person.
food.
Go get the food. I don't care about, stop telling me you're hungry if you're not going to go eat.
I stumbled into something the other day.
A lake. A beautiful abandoned lake with an abandoned tennis court.
I was talking Yankees
Okay.
in the office. I forget if it was with Canobia or who. But again, the Yankees kind of have this weird... They're so adverse to creating their own drama, which is funny, as we have the Marcus Stroman presser today. What snacks? You got to stop snacking on the pods, man.
I'm getting this for you.
It's like a 40-minute no snack zone.
I'm getting it for you. I'm Pavlov dogging you every time you make a good point.
Okay. I like this. No, I don't want that. I'll eat it. Or Gushers?
Gushers, yeah.
I really shouldn't. I had a lot of snacks today.
Snacked.
The Yankees should add another starting pitcher.
Gusher. That's one gusher.
So,
Blue one.
the current Yankee concern, right, if we're being real, A, it's price tags, which we've talked about, but there's going to be other Major League starting pitchers that aren't Blake Snell or Monty that if the Yankees signed even like a guy like Ryu tomorrow, we'd say, okay, this makes sense, right? But where the pride kicks in is say everyone's healthy, which has never happened. Then you're either telling the Yankees they have to do a 6-man, which is the naughtiest word they have ever run into. Anytime 6-man gets brought up,
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
the naughty
in the
word.
history of Talkin Yanks, they've done a 6-man rotation down the stretch more years than they haven't.
Right.
But they do not call
Refuse
it a 6-man rotation. What did they used to refer to it as?
I forget what they referred to, but what they do is sort of modified. It's like every other time through.
Yeah,
or like,
Cole
and
stays
Cole
and the rest
stays
do.
and-
But it's a 6-man rotation. But they, man.
So I guess the other thing for me is if they sign someone like Ryu or whatever starting pitcher who's a free agent that has MLB experience that you think could pitch a little bit for the Yankees, Jim's going to get his guy coming up.
Paxton Nunn's number sneaky good.
James Paxton, old friend. The moment of pride that they don't want to address would be Clark Schmidt would have to maybe do a couple bullpen outings, or maybe Nestor or something like that. I guess the other counter to that would be early in the season, we've seen them go piggyback, right? With like Domingo and certain other guys. So I guess there should be no reason the first month of the season when A, you're limiting your starting pitchers, And B, if the proudest thing we have to do is tell Clark Schmidt, who did have a nice like breakout back of the rotation year last year, hey buddy, you're gonna get your innings this year. Like that's not gonna be a problem. But in April, you might have to be flexible for us. Like the fact that they're so adverse to that drama, like we can't be.
Yeah.
Like why? No other gusher, huh?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, now that you've eaten that one, I can't overload you. You had to eat it. Yeah. Lorenzen's a guy that also like could be bullpen
Has
starter.
done bullpen stuff.
Yeah,
Did
he
both
had a
last
good year, got traded to the Phillies, and then kind of didn't have a good time on the Phillies.
Well, early he did. No hitter. Like the first or second start.
Yes,
And
those
then-
first two
and
starts
then
were
it went-
great, and
and then
then
it
you know
didn't go
the
great.
devil showed up.
Johan Santana.
Whoa. Clevenger, I don't think that's going to happen. So the guys you're talking about, like, there's not that many actually.
Not a ton, but
It's Ryu, it's Lorenzen, it's Paxton. I mean Odorizzi.
Rich Hill.
No,
You're off of it.
yeah, I'm off Rich Hill.
Okay.
He's old.
It's not that long a list of guys. It's like if we sign them, they're guaranteed a major league spot. 1-year deal. Not a lot of those guys.
And what I think their pride is, Jake,
Right.
is they think they don't like doing those.
Right.
They'd rather go find the gem that's underutilized and not performing and turn them into something. Like the way that
But have they done that with starting pitching? Like I know they've been great with relievers,
well,
and they've got
Nestor, they
their
got
Gios and
Nestor
Mavens.
back. They would probably
Yeah.
put Nestor in that bucket.
I guess so.
Blake helped Clark Schmidt from the start of the year to the end of the year.
Clark was like a legit prospect and first round pick.
Well, that's what they like going after.
Right.
Like that
Talent.
dude who the Braves got from the Royals and the Braves flipped him to
Jackson
whatever.
Coher.
Like they want to go find a guy like that and trade on the margins. And like how we are viewing Luke Weaver
Right.
is way different than how they are viewing Luke Weaver.
I don't think you're wrong. Like that's why
Gusher for me then.
that's why his second year option is $8 million, right?
I'll do
Or
a
is it
double check.
total earnings get to 8.5?
I think total earnings with like some bonuses can reach $8 million, but I will look at some contract details.
Alex Wood,
Decent name.
Carlos Carrasco.
Nah. I don't see them doing any of like end of their year 1 year deal.
Okay.
Lorenzen, I can kind of see if like
Right, because that for them the answer would be he's been a reliever too. Mm-hmm. So that's how they can dodge every bullet.
yeah.
It seems like
It's
he's
just as
not.
unnecessary.
Seems like he's not like getting the contract he might have thought he was getting. So it's like if he was going to take this kind of role,
I know I've
Yankees
dropped
are a
this.
place he might want to do it. I have no idea.
I know I've dropped this name before. They would rather go find a dude like Jacob Junis and that has some peripherals that they can tap into
Right.
than go get like Rich Hill for 1 year or Carrasco for 1 year and try to
think
find a
you're
guy
right.
that's got multiple years and they think they can develop.
Is Domingo a free agent?
Herman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's loose.
I guess it ended.
What did
the drunk
the
steam room
report said
fight.
the Red Sox and the Astros had interest? It was like,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's obvious. Oakland, what are you doing? Pitch a perfect game there.
I mean,
Sign him for $3 million.
they still have 2 more years of tanking.
Trade him. Cycle.
They should trade
Now
us.
he's talking ace.
Imagine.
God. It'd have to be like a comedy show.
But even then, I don't know if anyone's tuning in.
Oh, it gets ugly quick.
You have to like fight you have to, every time you turn on, like, welcome back, Talking A's. We're going to be discussing the A's.
I think
And
it's a
then you just get in
one-person
fist
show.
Fight. No, it's 2 and and then they have to fight.
Well, that's I have
immediately.
the person having internal fights.
Oh yeah.
like it's very
Psychotic
lighthearted. And it's
breakdown.
like, why do I watch this?
Yeah. Peter, you suck.
Yes.
Peter, you suck. Yes. Gusher for both of us. Yours fell
Did
on
you
the
drop
floor.
my Gusher?
Yours fell on the floor.
Felt a lot like you dropped my gun.
You know what? I'll take that one. And I think, ow.
That's good. That's good podcasting.
Good thing I
Your
brought
podcasting
Check out the
skills
YouTube on this.
recently.
good thing I brought the mic with me.
Have really flown up.
I dumped. Did you drop it that time?
drop it. You threw it in a hole, man. You threw the gusher in a hole.
I'll get it.
I don't want it. Don't bring the mic with you, dude.
I got it.
Nobody needs that. Thank you.
Luckily, I rolled 2 green, so it makes sense for us to both get one.
That's kind of cool.
All right.
2 green.
So Cash admits they need more pitching.
Did Cash say anything else? He said Rodon and Nestor are in shape. Like we're starting to hit that part of spring training.
They've like reported voluntarily. I will find the full quote on Rodon in a sec. But
Yeah. The voluntarily part is so fucking weird
Right.
to insert that word. It would be very normal. You go, Rodon reported to camp early. You go, oh, great. He must have done that on his own. Right. You say, voluntarily. Okay.
Yeah.
What was the other fucking option? You can
Not.
bring him at knife point?
There is no other option.
So, and like, yeah, man. The 98 Yankees, go read Jack Curry's book. It's great. They lost the DS and were so mad that they all like got to camp early, were like pissed off and were living. This Yankee team just got absolutely embarrassed in the regular season when they were supposed to be favorites in the division or top of the division and really, really good. And they finished 4th. Didn't make the playoffs. Didn't make the playoffs in August. Like, weren't even in a chase at all.
officially eliminated with what, like 2 weeks left?
Like, it was bad.
Left?
If guys aren't reporting early and aren't trying to like get ahead of that,
Yeah.
and like have some fire, then yeah, it'd be terrible. So while it's great to hear they are doing that, I can't be sitting here and clapping about it.
No, and I think like
And the word voluntarily is real weird.
I think all the guys kind of like Tampa and like
Yeah,
they get
it's a
nice
party.
spots down there and it's warm. Like I think everyone's kind of about it. Judge has been down there. Like
Yeah, they have houses. Glaber lives down there sometimes.
Gary has a house down there, or he had. I don't know if he still does.
yeah.
Did he sell?
Well,
I've been keeping up.
Property these days.
Go get Gary.
get snow.
I don't really need to get Gary.
The full quote he had on Rodon: voluntarily reported to Tampa early, looks really good. Said the Yankees are very optimistic that Rodon can return to form and be the pitcher we know he's capable of being, and that's of course via Brian Hoke.
It's kind of funny we can't dream on Rodon yet, just because it was so ugly in almost every fashion.
Just went the worst.
On the field, performance, on the field, reactions, off the field reactions, and the pitching. So just everything was so bad that
health.
Do Stroman and Rodon get along?
Yes.
Does our rotation get along?
They do when times are good. They have a blast when times are good. We have an explosive team.
They can really enjoy each other.
Like that's what we had the K show on, and they were talking about us. So I guess we'll talk about those big-headed handsomes.
K's head's huge.
Oh, Gusher.
Exclusive. Talking Yanks. Live with Aaron Boone. Like, they added Verdugo and Stroman. That Verdugo was, like, politely asked to leave the Red Sox, and he had his problems. Stroman, that was, like, his whole interview was smoothing over the ice.
Yeah, they had
the ice.
smoothing over the ice. Zamboni. They were Zamboni in the interview.
They really did, though.
Rodon flipped off fans last year. And is a firecracker.
And blew them a kiss.
Be really cool if Rodon's good. I know that's not a game.
Yeah.
We've played a lot.
Dan Rourke had a tweet that was like, so the 2024 season really is just Rodon? And I read it and I was like, oh, yeah, kind of.
A little bit. You feel like you're going to get something from Stroh. You feel like you're going to get something from Nestor and Schmidt. Rodon's kind of the biggest wild card, and it's a wild card between a guy that's gotten Cy Young votes and a guy that's been hurt and bad.
I just can't with all the in shape stuff.
Right.
And they're really pounding it. Stan's in shape.
It's
What was
that
the
time
quote
of
about
year.
Stan? I know it's that time of year,
that
but it's
time of
almost like Todd Frazier. Did you know he played in the League World Series? Right. And everyone does that in the voice, and people are still saying, oh, you know, they're showing up in great shape. Instead of saying like, and you know they're showing up in great shape. Like, they're still not using the tone of SpongeBob guy.
Well, that's the thing for me with Joy Mode.
Yes.
Because Joy Mode
You can have both screens.
is for if you want to have better sex. And there's not a lot of people out there that want to have worse sex. Like, we're talking about spring training. You don't see a lot of, this guy's in the worst shape of his life.
Yeah.
Maybe we should see that. If your sex game's in a bad place, maybe you should get into Joy Mode. The issue? Over-the-counter erection pills contain unregulated chemicals. Uh-oh. Be careful. Your body and your peeper. That's why we partnered with our friends over at Joy Mode. If you're looking to spice up your intimate moments, increase some blood flow and confidence in the bedroom, their trademark product, the Sexual Performance Booster, is every man's solution for increased blood flow, firmness, stamina, and performance. Hello. This is what won over Trevor Plouffe. This won over Trevor Plouffe with Joy Mode. It's like pre-workout, but for sex. So if you think of it that way, maybe you're fitness buff and you take something before you work out. This is before you work out.
Trev liked that.
This is before you work out in the biblical sense. So you mix it in. It goes with water. So if you don't like swallowing pills, bing bang. And then watch the magic unfold. So redefine your intimacy. Sorry, the gusher was in front of the read there. Go to usejoymode.com/Yanks and get 20% off with Yanks at checkout. That's 20% off and free shipping with code Yanks. Joymode.com. Great sex solved naturally.
The full quote on Stanton by Brian Cashman that I'm reading from a Brian Hoke tweet.
Stan probably has good sex.
Great. Giancarlo Stanton is in a really good place between his diet and offseason conditioning, Brian Cashman said. He's always been one of the most feared hitters in the game. He's looking forward to getting back to that.
It's big.
That's such nonsense. Not that it's not true.
Right.
Do you think there's a conversation where Cashman...
Stan's always been in great shape. It's not the issue.
I know. The picture of him shredded and everyone was like, look how good he looks. I'm like, what? What did you think he looked like before?
He's always been in great shape.
And then like on Yankee Twitter, they posted a picture of Rodon like walking from the side. And they're like, ooh, Rodon. I'm like, well,
he's probably had to change his game in the bedroom.
Too power.
A lot of lower body injuries.
Okay.
I still want to see a slightly altered stance.
Hold on. That quote is his diet.
The mention of his diet.
Like what? Cashman and Stan are talking about their diet and their like 0 calls they share in the offseason. So who's getting that info? That's just like
Stanton and Cashman haven't talked this offseason.
Yeah. Like unless they've changed things from a couple years ago when we were like really talking to guys and
could Cressy and Stanton have talked and Cressy and Cashman talk?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Or, Cash saw that picture and saw some responses on Twitter about, oh yeah, maybe he changes diet.
This is probably one of those things where we like certain part about baseball players and Big G, who's got 300 mil coming his way. Parts of his life are very different. That quote could also be like, I'm kind of out on eggs. Like, you could be talking to your buddies, and they're like, I'm in a little funk.
Yeah.
I don't like bacon as much as I used to.
If anyone hasn't listened to us for, the last couple of years, you're new. It shocked Jake and I when we were like, starting to meet players and talk to players or meet people that are part of the Yankees, that they pay these guys hundreds of $1 million. And this may have changed recently. And for 4 months, no contact. Like just maybe a Boone call because Boone's the players dude checking in, and that would be it. Now Judge is seeming to be more talking with Hal about decisions and stuff.
Right.
But we would talk to guys and they'd be like, yeah, oh no, we don't.
Yeah, and does it make sense to a degree? Yes, because everyone has their own hitting coach. Like, this isn't your JV soccer team where they're like, do this off-season workout program. Like, professionals would laugh at that. But
it's a little crazy. We thought there would be the world works year round.
You thought there would be some sort of communication, and you're working on this. Hey, remember the Stanton yoga off-season where everyone was like, do yoga.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it feels like there should be conversations that are like that. Like, hey, Stan, there's this great stretching person in LA we want you to work with. Okay, I'll try it. But, like, those conversations don't happen, which it feels like that should be
Well, I just think
Par for the course.
Have you
even
considered
in like
this?
general, it's a job, and they're making so much money, and like just having an employee just be out of sight for 4 months, and then show up to camp like out of shape. If they were to do that, you'd be like, like I think if they checked in, like, hey, once a month, we're all just gonna go to this indoor facility and just see each other,
Right.
I mean, at least you'd think like a monthly call, like they're adults.
I don't
Yeah,
know. It's
like,
kind of weird. Maybe
think
it changed.
Some form.
I think
of
the
check-in.
grind is so much during the season that they laugh at that. And then I think the other side is
But they've had guys show up out of shape.
you're either young and you're not making money that you need to be driven enough to be good and take care of yourself, or you're super rich and really good that you're not going to listen to anyone because you're Giancarlo Stanton and you hit 59 homers one year.
The last couple years, I mean, Sebi showed up and they were really upset with him for being out of shape.
Right.
I forget what year that was.
He was just snacking a lot, he said.
He said he had to cut
Oh,
plantains out of his
plantains,
diet.
yeah.
Yeah,
Cut
he was
the
eating too many plantains. And then Nestor last year, apparently because he had the hamstring stuff, so maybe that's right. So I don't know. It's just kind of crazy to pay guys a bunch of money and then they show up at the, and then
You don't
And
do
the-
anything to avoid that, like proactive.
so many injuries. Remember Clark? Was it 2 years ago? Clark's first bullpen. He got too excited and hurt himself and was out for the start of the year.
Jazzy.
I'm so nervous for the first 3 weeks of spring training.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all. Well, I'd say that's the good news about the offseason. It's like 68 days till opening day or something like that.
Is it pitchers and catchers on my birthday?
I think it's earlier this
I think
year.
it's earlier. I think it's
Valentine's
right around,
Day?
Right around Galentine's. The
It's I
13th?
think they're either 13th or 14th.
14th is usually when it is.
Give or take. The wives, I'm sure, love that.
No idea where I was heading. Oh, I was like, we're at the point in the offseason, I'm almost ready for the first injury. Let's rip that Band-Aid.
Yeah, if they're all showing up in Tampa,
Yeah.
someone's going to show up with crutches.
I know we shouldn't laugh at this, and we have laughed on it on the show, but Tyro Estrada did show up. He got shot.
He with a bullet in his hip.
He got shot.
Yeah.
Showed up with a bullet in his leg.
I got shot this
Yeah,
offseason,
that was wild.
That's tough, man.
like months ago.
Man. Like, he didn't call. Like, I guess that's
Nobody
the whole,
called
that's
him?
the whole conversation we just had. Tyro got shot, didn't call the Yankees, showed up to camp.
It's crazy.
Fairly regarded prospect at the time. Yanks didn't check in.
Well, he was kind of not like, was he 40 man at that time?
I don't remember exactly, and I'm not
It's
saying
a
he was
tough
a top
call to
prospect.
make if you're Tyro,
For sure.
Yes.
because he wants the job. So he's going to recover before he makes the call. And then at that point, you know what I mean?
But he didn't recover, right?
What Boone, if Boone never reported his basketball injury until like the day he showed up at camp, do they
Right.
get A-Rod?
No.
So maybe that's, you hide injuries in the offseason until the first day of camp. That's insurance for not getting cut, replaced
Not
early.
getting somebody signed above you.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
Crazy.
fucked up. I told,
That's an easy 60-day IL.
I
Shot.
traded Joe's
Okay.
a tweet.
All right.
I was going to promote something, and then he
He's
had
gonna
to
promote
he
this
had-
episode.
No, he had a quote tweet it and say, and it's the best game of the tournament. And he quote tweet and said, one of my fave games this tournament.
It's not what the deal
So
was.
he's a liar.
It's not the deal.
In court, I think I'd lean Joe's is fine.
Well, he blew the deal.
That's why I'm not in court anymore, though. Did a couple times.
Went to court.
Yeah.
What were we getting charged with?
I mean, there was a college drinking ticket.
Yo, I got a ticket.
The other time.
I don't know if it was a ticket or a warning the other day
Right.
from a cop, not in a car. And I was in my car, not nuts.
Warning?
Well, he said the word like warning to me, and his demeanor what felt like warning. And I've been trying to find, he hasn't logged the ticket yet. And we called him. We're like, hey,
What happened? Because I don't think you got a ticket.
well, I have a physical ticket
Okay.
with my name and all that shit in it,
Maybe he hasn't logged the
but
ticket.
he hasn't logged it. So now,
Paperwork looks pretty official.
yeah, but
It's like
You take
can't
your
pay it
license?
online.
yeah, he took my license.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You probably got a ticket.
But he hasn't put it in the system yet, and if like I don't pay it in 15 days, my license is suspended.
yeah.
But we're like, but he hasn't
And
put it in yet.
doubles, yeah.
But he hasn't put it in.
info to find it.
Worse,
But how
bro.
crazy is that? I was stopped at a red light in Manhattan and texting at a red light, and he just knocked on my window. I was like, damn, man.
Yeah.
That's
tough.
crazy. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm at the red light and the office is there. I'm just like getting ahead of the day. He was like, all right. And then he had a real like, I don't care about this demeanor about him. And I thought he said, just a warning. He didn't really talk much. But yeah.
Did you
get
get a
pulled
warning
over
or a
on
ticket?
foot. Well, I don't know. I just have to keep checking to
that's
see if
the
it goes
big
in the
line
system.
here.
I have to keep checking to see if he puts it in the
Because
system.
I think you can get warnings.
For sure. I've gotten a warning on a piece of paper before.
Okay, so you might not have a ticket.
Yeah, we're going to keep checking.
Does
But
the
it was-
ticket say this is a warning on it?
It says this is a ticket, but then the section isn't
Warning.
it isn't filled out fully.
I think you got a warning.
I think so too. I'm hoping. Otherwise, I got to pay it.
That's big.
Good.
Yeah.
You guys remember
There was another quote by Cashman we got to talk about, by the way.
the Bronx office days? You might recall there was a day I got a speeding ticket that morning, and it was like kind of. I begrudgingly was like, you know what, I am gonna fight this. Every 4 months since, I've gotten new things saying, 6 more months back is your trial. I haven't had it yet, but we're approaching 3 years since my infraction.
The bureaucracy.
I mean, that's just
That's
keeping
just
they're
keeping
the
jobs.
window.
They're
You're keeping
never
jobs
charging
alive.
me. They're never
the economy.
They're never doing it. I get an email every 6 months saying, another 6 months.
There was a quote about Dominguez and when he's going to return. Jason, yeah, the Martian, for those that forgot. And just to remind you,
My center fielder.
the Yankees have 4 outfielders on the roster.
Yeah. It's kind of nice.
It's
5
nice.
if you include Stanton, which
Sneaky.
Oh, 6 if you include Stanton and Cabrera. 6.
Are they a tag team?
5 if you
They
include
kind of
Stanton
are in a
and-
sweet tag team.
So
PPP note on Stanton that we'll get to when we do PPPs, which are coming soon. And get excited. He played a lot more outfield than I thought last year.
yeah, he was just slow
Yes.
and fully healthy apparently, but better healthy now. The diet and shit. Well, Cashman said, and I agree with Cash again, but he said when he's healthy over the summer, we're definitely going to need him. It's like
Great.
you get 4 outfielders.
Yeah. Judge can't play center every day. Love
No,
him.
I know, but you can't have 5 outfielders on the roster.
Could.
They would move Verdugo and Grisham to the bench.
No, you would go Soto, Dominguez, Judge. Verdugo. Yeah, I mean, someone's going to be hurt
That's what he's saying.
or bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You're going to need him. Yeah.
But like the 2 quotes about the rotation and that is Cashman just being like, we're going to get hurt. Which I get.
God,
I
we did it.
appreciate the honesty there, but I don't know. I feel like we should do something.
Yeah, I don't know. If you really get to that point, you ease Dominguez back. If Stanton's raking, I mean, I guess there's a world where like you could flip Doogie, but this isn't gonna happen.
A lot of fans reacted thinking that
Turn the mic, maybe. Okay. That's our future problem business.
What's that?
Having too many good hitters.
Yeah. Yeah.
I dream for days like this.
The pitching one is kind of like, yeah, but upsetting.
Yeah.
Go get another pitcher then.
Right.
But who are they going to add that's going to help out? And that's just depth. So like worse than Luke Weaver, better than Clayton Beater. That's what they're going to add. Does nothing for me, Jake.
There's not a ton of that lane.
You know,
I think
that
there's
would
still
be
there's still an above
that would
Luke
be
Weaver
that would be
lane.
going and getting like a Michael Bush from a team where he's blocked, but starting pitchers don't get blocked.
No, they pitch.
They pitch.
The worst case,
maybe
they
blocked
go to
on the
bullpen.
opening day roster, but they'll need him at some point.
Well, anyway, 2 of our best episodes ever coming out next week.
Buckle up.
1,
2,
big news. So
Hopefully.
put it in all the blogs. Jake from Talkin Yanks says big news coming.
I do think there's a big episode coming next week.
And
Hopefully 2.
Okay.
stoked about at least 20.
All right, I'm gonna go crumble. Go Yanks, tell them Gramps.
Go Yankees.
Subscribe, review,
You might as well.
comment below. Who else do you want on the baseball team? Stroman's excited.
It's a perfect Yankee.
Match made in heaven.